Hello guys, today we are going to read the changelogs of Blender 2.78. Okay, let's start. So this version was released on February 28, 2017. So let's click it. Nice image. The Blender Foundation and the online developer community are proud to present Blender 2.78, released September 30, 2016. This release aims to be a very stable one so that developers can focus better on Blender 2.8 work. An updated Blender 2.78a was released on October 26, 2016. That release has 69 important bug fixes. The update Blender was released on let's move. New in Blender 2.78, spherical stereo virtual reality. Cyclist now supports rendering spherical stereo images for virtual reality, including support for pole merging to reduce artifacts when looking straight up or down. Watch the coming at this virtual reality demo by Blender Institute and the Google Virtual Reality. Okay, now the cyclist render engine. Optimizations, several memory savings and speedups, support for CPU groups, good. GPU rendering, support for GTX NVIDIA 10X series, improved support for GTX 980 Ti and Titan X, memory improvements for CUDA and OpenCL, good. Better subdivision and micro displacement, experimental feature improved, smoke volume support for velocity and heat attributes, fluid simulation, mesh support for motion blur and motion vectors, point density textures now support vertex color, weight and normals, good. Viewport and render. The cyclist viewport rendered mode now supports more shading nodes and options. All procedural textures, vertex color, GLSL shading, and all projection methods for image textures are now supported. Bump mapping support in the viewport. The Blender GLSL viewport now supports more shading features to match the final render. Environment lighting using the sky color and the white modes. Environment map texture reflection with nodes. Mirror environment textured influence. Normal map node from cyclist and multiple tangent spaces. Moreover, Blender render shading can now be computed in world space rather than camera space, and the stamp metadata feature now supports hiding the labels to save space. Not bad. Modeling, oh, very nice, look here. New freehand curve drawing tool uses curve fitting for Bezier curves. With error and corner angle options. Support for tablet pressure, drawing aligned or perpendicular to a surface. Tapering, redo operator and calling from Python. But wait, there is more. Edit mode, undo memory optimizations, allowing around 5 to 50x memory savings. That's good. New Ngon support for decimate modifier with double precision optimizations. New decimate edit mode tool and the dissolve tool to remove vertices refitting surrounding hands. Path select can now also select the regions using the fill region option. New snap selection to active option. New options for bevel modal operations to change the profile, bevel shape or number of segments with mouse movements or numeric input to set the value. very good improvements in the modeling section. Animation and rigging. Bendy bones, advanced B-bones for easier plus simple rigging. Shapes can now be controlled directly using a series of properties. Define a core with the rest bones for the bone and use custom bones as the reference bone handles. Add driver new eyedropper tool for easier setup and keyframing control. Sorting on animation editors. Alphabetical short option. Fuse multi-word name filtering. Top sheet editor, lasso, cycle, select tools improved. Graph editor, improvements to keyframing, mouse command, and properties region. NLA editor, position of action local markers is now drawn on stripes. F modifiers, new drop down to select type. Keyframes, inserting improved. Keyframes, inserting improved. Okay. New moving hold keyframe type. Rigging, bone constraint, target improved. New menu operators to apply delta or normal transforms. That's very nice. Especially my favorite part is always the animation and rigging improvements. So let's go for more. The user interface. Render border is now compatible with cached render results, image above this. Save buffers and full sample anti-aliasing. Camera frame. Other operator sheets now shows categories and supports multi-word filtering. Radial operator, brush size, strength, better displays to name, current value and precision. More precise snapping, editing for the UV editor. New extra waveform visualization for image editor. New eyedropper commands and shortcuts to cancel and reset. New command line option to render multiple frames, ranges or both. Hot plug support for X-Impact. Okay, now in the grease pencil section, huge changes done in the release allow Blender to work in a way similar to other 2D drawing software and to get a production-ready 2D animation tool that can mix 2D drawings with 3D objects and composition. Huge. The draw thickness was moved to stroke and color to a new palette color instead of saving this information per layer. Now the layer is only a container and strokes can use different color, strength and thickness in the same layer. Amazing. With the new design, the brush is independent and it allows create brushes to simulate different types of pencils. Other changes, layer, palette, drawing, brushes, curves, panel changes to fit the new design. New arrange strokes, palette workflow, stroke quality improvements operators, parent grease pencil strokes to objects. New features such as support for compositing, sculpt strokes and editing tools. Reproject strokes allows fixing the 3D cursor for precise drawing. So this release had tons of grease pencil improvements for 2D animation. Okay, let's see now in the exporting section the Alembic improvements. Brand new basic Alembic support through import and export operators and data streaming through cache constraints and modifiers. Import reads an Alembic archive and creates objects in the current Blender skin, supporting camera, cube, empty, meshes, point and object types. Export creates an Alembic archive supporting camera, cube, curves, hair, mesh, NURBS, particles, objects types. Particle object types, okay. New catch file data block stores various properties related to catch files to help keeping modifiers and constraints referencing Alembic archives in sync. New mesh sequence catch modifier supports meshes and curves data animations file sequences. New transform cache constraint allows to stream animations made at the transformation matrix level. Not bad. Let's go to Blender ID. The Blender ID is a unified login system that will give you access to Blender Foundation and Blender instead of the web platforms. Okay, this Blender 2.78 features the official Blender ID add-on. Oh, that's good. Let's go in the add-ons in this version. New add-ons: Blender ID authentication, Archimesh, measured bone selection sets, object boolean tools, carver, mesh tiny cut, 3D viewport pie menus, modifier tools, oscurat tools, material utilities conversion. Updated add-ons: 3D view navigation, ANT landscape, dynamic space bar menu, mesh extra objects, node wrangler, object cloud gen, pie menus, sampling tree gen, add curve extra objects, bow ray exporter. Moreover, several changes and improvements have been done to the Python API. More features. Okay, it's getting better and better. Sculpting painting, sculpt, edit mesh memory savings, improvements on blur brush smoothing, vertex weight painting, hair painting and texture painting, speed up of projection and 2D painting Okay, more new vertical alignment options for text objects, better CPU threading handling and unknown memory usage optimizations, 2D stabilization improvements, dynamic base mesh new option allows animating the rest shape of cloth using ship case or modifiers above the cloth modifier. Simulation speed, it is now possible to adjust how quickly time flows for the cloth simulation using a new speed option. Particles and soft body. Like at physics systems, a group can now be used to specify a set of collision objects. Sequencer sound stripes now either show the waveform or the stripe name, file name, duration, but never both. Data block remapping, new ID remapping feature to replace a given data block by another. Let's see now the performance updates in this version. This is a 2.78 release compatible update with important speed ups, especially in cycles and for dependency grab. This dependency grab has always been a big pain for Blender, so that's good. Most notable will be faster rendering of motion blur with hair, which has a 5 to 10 times speed up, important for production rendering. I remember this speed up. It was using for Blender short film, the agent something, I don't remember the number. Bug fixes on more than 600 bug fixes for this release. That was a great release. As always, this video is to improve my English accent and speak. I want to speak more fluidly. Let's see if I will achieve. So I'm using Blender because it's my favorite software ever. This is the best of the best. So that's for today. Have a nice day.